Hey guys, how's it going? It's Greg again, and I have just received, like literally just received, my Shao Kahn regular statue by Pop Culture Shock. So I thought I'd do a video for you, as from what I can see there isn't currently any on YouTube. So I thought you might want to have a look at this pretty awesome statue. So a quick look at the box. You can see various shots of the statue and the Mortal Kombat logo on each side, and on the back there's a quick write-up about Shao Kahn. I'll just stop that if you want to have a read of that. Okay, so here's a quick look at the back for anyone that is interested in reading the blurb there on the back, just to give you an idea of the character. There you go, I'm not going to read it out. And on the back it's also got the edition size, and this one is number 160 of 350. And various logos and all that crap. Okay, so let's move on to this statue. Okay, so here we are with the statue itself, and as you can see it's a pretty awesome looking piece. Really well done. I've literally just taken it out of the box and set him up, so I'm just having a good look at him as well now. And he really does look great on display. I love the pose. Really nice paint job. Everything about it, actually, there's no problems at all with mine. Oh well, actually there's one minor issue, and that is that the unpegged foot is hovering slightly above the base. It doesn't really bother me. It's certainly not the sort of thing I'd complain about. You can hardly notice it, to be honest. Okay, so a few rotations for you there. I'm going to go in now for a closer look. Okay, so here we are for a few close-ups. I think everything about this has been done really nicely. The paint job's great, I can't really see any sloppiness. The sculpt, as usual, from Pop Culture Shock, really nice. I love the way they've given his eyes a bloodshot look. There was a few minor complaints that his eyes weren't as bloodshot as the prototype, but I think they look pretty good. And another complaint that I heard was that the two fangs on his mask were different sized. I mean, wow, if people are complaining about that, I can barely notice a difference. And when you look at the statue as a whole, they're so small. I mean, some people are just too picky. I think they look fine. As you can see, it's really nicely painted. The horns there actually look like real bone. They've been done really nicely. As does the skull that he's using as a mask. Really nicely done. The metallics are all really nice. I had no issues with the arms going together. I saw a few pictures initially. His right arm joins here, you can see the join there, and I thought I wasn't really very happy with how that goes together. But to be honest, it's not too bad. And when you display them from the front, you can't even notice that. So again, that's a non-issue for me. Really nicely painted skull on his waistband. It's all sculpt, this statue, even his loincloth, or whatever you want to call it. And it's really nicely done. as is his armour on his legs. This is my issue with the foot, if I can show it. As you can see there, there's a slight gap between the foot and the base. I mean, maybe when it's on display it might settle over time. You can see there, I can push it down, but you can't notice it unless you're looking for it, so it's not a problem for me. And looking at the base, again, really nicely done. My personal preference is for a base which actually looks like part of the statue, as opposed to a plain black base. So I much prefer something like this. Another complaint, well, not really a complaint, but another issue which I heard about this statue, as well as other Pop Culture Shock pieces, is that the toenails aren't done very well. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick it up. I mean, they're defined, you can see the toenails. Maybe they could just do with a slightly different shade. But again, I'm not really a picky collector, so that doesn't really bother me. I never look at my statues that closely. I think they look fine. One thing that they have added on this piece, which people are happy about, is they've given him the same kind of veins as on their Sagat statue. You can just see very faint a very faint shade of blue on some of them. You can see it a bit better there on his arm. But as you can see, there's no real sloppiness on the paint. All done really well. And looking at his back, again you can see the colour of the veins there. And I think one of the nicest details on this piece is his hammer. The way they've sculpted the Mortal Kombat symbol looks really, really nice, really well done. Okay, so I'm just going to switch his head out for you now, so you can have a look at the other piece. Bear with me one moment. Okay, so here's the unmasked portrait. Again, really nicely done. Looks really cool. There's a bit of sloppiness on the teeth. They're not painted the best. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't display them with this head anywhere, and I'm sure most people will go with the masked version. But that's something they could improve on for future pieces. His head on this is done extremely well though, on the top of his head. You can see the veins there. There you go, they're really, really well done, look really nice. Really nicely detailed. Okay, so I'm just going to finish up by doing a size comparison for you, so bear with me one moment. Okay, so here's my trusty Pepsi can, so I can do a size comparison, and I've also placed Katana next to him so that you can see the two of them together. I've just measured him, and from the bottom of the base to, actually I measured to the top of his head, not the top of his hammer, is just over 18 inches. So I think it's a really nice size. Some people have complained that he's a bit small, but I think it's a really nice size piece. And excellent job. I'm really, really happy with him. I think anyone who gets this piece, you can't fail to be impressed. Okay, so that's it for this video. That's the Shao Kahn regular by Pop Culture Shock. I also just picked up the Judge Death exclusive, but I actually haven't opened that one yet, so I'm going to do that now. And I'll do the video for that in a couple of days, unless I get a chance beforehand. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.